go into sex without
Before you
saying
even
hello
reach
to
that
someone.
point, a man needs to exhibit other traits and qualities. Look at the music that's portrayed by Black female artists. All right, welcome back to the Black Diamond Podcast. We're back with another episode, and this topic is going to be about Dr. Umar on the podcast. We're talking about Black love. All right, so hope you guys enjoy the episode. Don't disrespect Dr. Umar. If I catch you talking ish about Dr. Umar in the comment section, I'm going to come at you. All right, but stay tuned. Check out the episode. Let's get into it.
He has a decent job. They are on the
What
same.
is a decent job?
He has-
Define the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the woman. Let's just say that. The
Okay.
same tax bracket.
Okay.
Emotionally
Financial
intelligent.
equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider. He's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the question?
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay. Couple things. Number one, Black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a Black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege, the Black man suffers from white racism. So we should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A Black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a Black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, too often Black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he might can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen Black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
I can agree with that. I think that these are two extreme scenarios here, because I think if a man we're talking about financial equity, if he is making enough to build a household with you, to be a leader in the household, I think women are okay with that. I think that's not what they're getting. I think they're getting the other end of the spectrum. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking?
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me.
I think that's dangerous.
Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I
Tell
am
me why you're
reluctant. I am
Tell me why.
reluctant because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees in love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And
If you
also,
need a
I think
guarantee, you
I think
can't get in it.
context matters. How long have
agree.
we been together?
I agree.
You know, if it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and
No,
he
y'all
wants me
been
to
dating
fund
for
it.
about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
There might be
invest
some
in
love
me.
there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there
has
is.
to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself with
But
this
you didn't
man,
answer the question. Let's say
Yeah.
all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen. They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
yeah. Look,
Why not, though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that Black men suffer in Australia, why would you have
But
a
what
problem
are Black
investing
men
in your
subject
king?
to that women are not? We're
Say that
going through
again.
the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression
Yeah,
Olympics because
yeah.
I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together. But a man's primary responsibility is to be a provider. And we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months. And I promise you, I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm
Why?
reluctant. I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were married and something like that happened, of course, I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He's saying, help me level up so I can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help him level up.
I think.
Let me tell you why you're reluctant.
This comes back to the simple point that women do not wait for men or help men get to where they need to be. They wait for men at the finish line, at the end of the race. They wait for the winners. All right. They're not going to wait for you to build yourself up or invest in you, because that, in their mind, and this is the new modern day mindset, when they invest in someone without any sort of contract, marriage, so to speak, they feel like they're going to be wasting their time because it puts all the leverage onto the man, right? Because at the end of those years, he leveled up and became successful. And if he chooses not to be with her or chooses to step out, then she feels like she lost the game. But to Dr. Umar's point is, you want men who are successful. You have to put in some work. These men require time and investment. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be a financial investment, but this could just be an investment of your time, your resources, your femininity. A lot of women are not willing to invest that into their man until they get some sort of contract where they then have the leverage compared to the man having all the leverage, right? There's a lack of trust. And that's what he's saying. There's no love there. It's a contract that you guys are looking for essentially when you're dating, because you want to have all the leverage without giving the man all the leverage. But then again, he's supposed to take on all the responsibility of being a provider, a protector, a professor of emotions. He's supposed to be able to take you on dates, take you on trips, and give you all his resources and invest into you, while he gets simply not as much, or if any, or if anything at all, in return.
And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something.
Okay.
And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
I disagree. And I think that I'm basing it on case studies. I know black women. I'm friends with black women. You know, when I see the dating issues that happen, sorry, the mic.
No, we good. Go ahead. We good.
It's never that. It's never that they don't want to invest. It's actually the opposite. Black women are willing to be in relationships with men that are still leveling up, that are still working their way up. And then
yet you were reluctant. So why are they different from you?
Well, maybe because I've been through that and now I'm not trying to do that right now. Do you know what I mean? I've been through a relationship where I have supported someone and it went really badly for me. You know what I mean? So for me now, I don't need to coddle a man and be there. And I've worked my way up the same way.
Investing in a man is not coddling.
Exactly. You see how she relates investing in a man into coddling, nurturing, being his mother. And that's not the same. That's not it. And this all stems from her past experience with another man who did her dirty. And this is essentially why, when a lot of women are confused about why men date younger women, it's essentially because they have less experience and less negative trauma a lot of times. This woman, I don't know how old she is, but she's old enough to experience some bad relationships in her past where it's now going to affect the next guy who she has to date. Compared to the younger version of herself, if she would have met the right guy when she was much younger, she would have never had that negative experience or that negative trauma associated with it. So this all ties in all together, why men date younger women, why men look for femininity over just looks. This all ties in why, unfortunately, Black women are the least desired on dating apps or in the dating market overall, right? This all comes in together. And when you're not looking at this from a perspective of what does the man want, what are the men looking for, you are the product as the woman. The men are the consumer. You have to play into what the man wants to get the man that you truly desire. Or you're just going to keep getting played because the men that you think want you are actually just really good at selling a dream.
I don't think you need to invest. I don't think it's necessary in that way. Why is it only financial investment? Why is it only financial investment?
Well, no, that's what he's asking for, because at the end of the day, you just said yourself, financial equity is a major concern for women. So it has to be financial equity or investment, because that's what a lot of women are looking for from their men. Y'all want economic parity, and I don't have a problem with y'all wanting economic parity. I'm simply saying, with the obstacles facing Black men in Australia, the US, or any other white society, it comes with a lot of obstacles for us to get there, and it's unrealistic to expect me to be where you are when you are not considered the threat that I am.
Sorry, I need to process this, because I think.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
King Kong is here.
I don't know. I disagree. I just think that Black women are willing to hold it down for the man. I feel like we're always there supporting them. And I think that, if anything, Black women get the short end of the stick. We don't get. A lot
of times y'all do.
We do. So
and
how
I'll
are
give you 3 short sticks that y'all tend to get. Number 1, Black men need to stop telling y'all they're monogamous if they're polygynous. Too many Black women are being manipulated into plural relationships that they didn't sign up with because of disingenuous men. Okay? I'm going to have 2 wives. Dr. Umar going to have 2 queens. If you don't like it, don't flirt with me. Leave it there. But I'm going to have 2. I'm going to be honest, right? Men have to stop manipulating women who looking for monogamy into polygamy. It's not right. You got a wife over here. You got a baby mama over here. You should have been honest up front. That's number 1. Number 2, Black men have to stop holding women on an emotional leash, giving her the belief that you may one day commit, knowing damn well you don't want her. Let her go, but you won't let her go because your ego can't stand to see something you throw away get picked out the trash by another man and turned into a jewel. We are wasting too much of y'all time by dragging y'all along emotionally, and that's not good, because Black women have a biological clock. Y'all have a tick-tock on how long y'all can have babies, and because of that, we shouldn't be wasting time with y'all. If we're not serious, we should let y'all go.
And let me add to that.
We got to stop putting our hands on our women. Too much domestic abuse, too much domestic violence. Too many Black children are watching their mothers get abused by their fathers, and it's creating intergenerational trauma. So yes, there's a lot we need to do better for y'all. And I'm here to apologize to all my sisters in Australia for any Black man that has done you wrong, because we need to level up in ways other than money that money can't fix for us. So I'm with you, Queen.
Absolutely.
We need to become better men, but we need y'all to be a little bit more sensitive to the economic challenges that Black men face. Me, I don't have that issue. I got 6 degrees. I got my doctorate. I'm the most popular Pan-Africanist in the world. I'm good. But a lot of my brothers ain't where I'm at. You understand? And I need my women to understand that not every black man is going to be where Dr. Umar is. And it ain't because he was lazy, and it's not because he was intelligent. I had my father in my home. You understand? And because of that, the white power structure dealt with me differently because my father was there. I saw how I was given programs other black boys were not given because their father were not there. Children I went to elementary and middle school with, they in prison, they in the cemetery, not because they was less intelligent than me, but because my father was there, they dealt with me differently. So I wasn't better than them. I was given opportunities they were not given.
Yeah, let's talk about how we can create you, because I know that we're talking about the divide. We're talking about black women, black men, why they don't get along, why they're not coming together. How can we start to create an understanding between the two of us?
Number one.
Yeah.
Too often when we get into relationships, we're looking for an emotional slave and a psychological cheerleader. We're not looking for a partner. Too often I see women who are looking for men who will just obey and do as I say. I see men who are looking for women who will just obey and do as I say. Are you really looking for a partnership, or are you looking for a cheerleader or a slave? Too many relationships are not partnerships. They are dictatorships of the more powerful partner over the less powerful partner. That's one. Number two, we need to stop getting into relationships when we have unmet psychological needs from our childhood that we have not addressed. Too many women are dealing with the abandonment of their fathers. You cannot put it on a man to heal the emotional wounds that your father caused. Too many men are looking for women to heal the emotional needs caused by their mother's abandonment. Deal with the trust issues from your parents. Deal with the abandonment issues from your parents. Deal with the lack of ability issues from your parents. It is not your partner's job to heal you psychologically. And so what we often end up doing is getting into relationships with emotionally unavailable people. And the reason they're emotionally unavailable is they're too consumed with their own issues that they should have dealt with before I came into your life. You see that?
Yeah.
We got to do a better job of screening people, because in Australia, you got emotional vampires, unhealthy women who look healthy, unhealthy men.
I agree with that.
You understand?
I agree
Who
with
look
that.
healthy.
And
so
jump
you-
into relationships
Yes,
too quickly.
yes,
Like we'll leave one and then we'll go into another before we
Yes.
heal. I do agree with that.
Yes.
And I do think that there's a lack of understanding.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. It was very intriguing to see the conversation between Dr. Umar and this wonderful woman. One point I do want to make is that men are craving femininity. And while this podcast host was very polite, you can see that when she had an itching to get something off her chest, she wanted to cut Dr. Umar off. That right there shouldn't happen. Dr. Umar is a much bigger influence than you are, and he came on your platform to give it attention. So you should treat him as such. Not only that, he's a man. Where has the femininity standard gone? Why are you cutting him off, not letting him speak, trying to overtalk him? And these are just the simple things that you should know as an adult woman, honestly, right? But it's one of the major components that men are missing out on the dating market. So many women don't have a femininity standard or a baseline to even know these simple things like this. And when he does try to correct her, try to teach her, it goes in one ear and out the other. But it was very good points on dating and black dating, and specifically on what we need to do to just come together a little bit more. And that's what this channel is focused on. We're focused on building better relationships and just building better dating practices. So I hope you guys learned something from this clip. Leave something in the comments, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with somebody. If you guys want more videos like this, send me an email, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.